Hey everyone, we're going to get into it here. We got a lot to cover. I got a lot of work to get out online. I've been preparing to come out online for years and years, and these people almost stopped me from being able to work my mission. So, I have plans that the enemy has been stomping on. They've been getting away with a lot in my life, and I deserve to come out and speak my piece. So that's what you're witnessing, is that it's been a long time coming, and it's been a lot of crime and warfare, spiritual warfare, over me in my life. So, we're going to get into it. There's a lot to cover here. There's a lot going on in the world right now. And, yeah, I got a lot of work in front of me. And my goals are not being met as far as what I wanted it to be. But I still have to push forward and I still have to grind. So I just wanted to say that you shouldn't be the type of person that is going to care about what they're trying to do any longer. You shouldn't be the type of person that cares about what they have to say and what they have to do. And I know it's hard, especially when it comes from people that you have loved indiscriminately, and it can make things very difficult, and might I add, very heart-wrenching. So, although we're talking about the people that wish to destroy you, people who came up against your spirit, they're now dealing with that whole doppelganger shit show that they wore. Excuse my French. But their shoe is on the other foot. Well, they got their own foot in their mouth here. They tried to take your whole life's energy away from you, to shake you out of your own energy and take you off of your own purpose that's been driven by the Lord, and especially with what you've gone through. So, as for me, it was planning to move in this fashion for years, and so I've had prayers to protect me, offer me provision, and to go ahead of me in all directions. All directions that I can personally see, and in all directions that I can't. And as soon as you do these things, you can see that these people are coming up against you in spirit. They're coming up against you to magnify or amplify their effects against you, as you would. So they see you. They see you what you're trying to do, and they know their avenues that they're taking to be able to do so. Hacking you, hijacking you, positioning you. And it's all out of spite, you see. But they see you, and you see them, and they don't like it. They don't like it now that you can see them. And because it's going to get other people to see them for exactly who they are. And they're not going to like that. They've been pushing you off and pushing you out of yourself. And as far as where I'm concerned, it's been through poisons and getting my mind not to be able to work right within it of itself, through proxy relationships, through avenues that you just wouldn't imagine would be possible. You hear of things like that happening, but you never think that it's going to happen to you. And then there you are, dealing with it, as though You were just always disposable to them when they were never that to you, but you were pushed off into homelessness for many years. You were set up in your jobs. You were set up to have betrayal happen to you from the state's level, from the courts level, from the medical industry's level, all to get rid of you before you're able to figure things out. And you can see them for exactly who they are. And when you do that, you're going to be able to witness them coming around a whole lot more, following you a whole lot more, and trying to create that psychological damage a whole lot more. And so that's what they do. They send out all their flying monkeys at you, if you will. Like the narcissists, they got their flying monkeys. They got their people working on the side of whatever that they need to be able to prevent you, provoke you, distract you, destroy you. These are demons. So we're going to go in. Excuse me. We're going to go in about these things because people don't have the right to do what they're doing, and all of what they're sending out against you is now just finally coming back to them, and they can't even handle it. They can't. Because you know what people put out there is going to come back to them. And it's karma, karmic reward, however you want to see it. But it's what I feel is God basically saying no more. End of discussion, no more. You didn't change from your ways, and look at what you did. Look what you did. They're having them look at themselves, or the Lord's going to be having them look at themselves, and you know in due time, as well as I do, that God isn't going to play here. Not at all. And you know that they aren't going to do so well with what the pressures that they've led upon you while you're covertly being poisoned off, pushed into homelessness, left without any friends, any support. That's how these people work. And that's how these demons work. So when people want to open door for demons to come in, they're going to flood in. You give the devil an inch and he'll take a mile or more. So you see that the Lord is working in that way for your favor. And sometimes he allows you to go through really horrible stuff. And I believe wholeheartedly you can go through horrible stuff all of your life, be capped off, pushed into that dirt into an early grave. These people still don't have any clue what they just did. They're not getting away with anything, is what I'm saying. They think they are, because oftentimes the innocence is being completely sabotaged and stomped on out here without any recourse of action that they can take. And then, because they're pushed off and the innocence gets killed, that these demons think that they won. They did not win. So they're not going to do as well as you did in the little 2% that's coming at them currently from, the many manifolds, I would say, of 100% being thrown at you. Many, many manifolds. So you have to know that the Lord sees these things, and they want to have this lavish lifestyle somehow over the backs of the bruise that they're creating. But how they want to create it and make their ends meet is simply perverse. It's disgusting. And they ought to be ashamed of themselves. So the goal here isn't just that in and of itself, to shame these people, because they don't know what they're doing. Lord, forgive them, for Lord, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. It's written in the Word. So they wanted you to have that specific lifestyle, right? They wanted to paint and go to town with it. Buy extra paint for other people even. To finish their job that they started. And they thought that their plans were going to be foolproof. But they're not. And people are waking up to it today en masse. And they don't like it. One of the problems I believe that we face out here is that a long while back, it wouldn't be, parents either trying to be friends to their kids, they would be parents to their kids. And nowadays you don't have that. So they don't get a whooping for what they're doing. They face no consequence. So the lifestyle has changed. It's grown into this lavish way that's destroying what anybody else has or what have you. And what you can do for yourself to maintain, given the monstrosity of what has been going on in your life. And so they seek out others in order to create the most devastating effects where they can't continue to, or while always acting as though it's all you, amplifying your need for love and support, amplifying your need while withdrawing their own, all in the same ways, the same effects. And you'll be able to vicariously start seeing these demons through other people, you see. And right when you do, you need to go back to your own notes and write it down. And the reason I say that is because if you're not writing, if you're not able to get to those places. They don't want you in these places, by the way. But with a very covert poisoning or anything going on to those levels, you're never going to be able to see it. You have to be able to know the words that you're using, utilize the words correctly, and then go in to the heart's language in a way that it's really not even in English. It's not in any language. It's something that you have to find for yourself, that through these avenues that you're taking up is going to give you the availability to write. And before you're able to speak, you have to be able to know the words that you're putting down to write. It's very important, because otherwise what you're utilizing is the world's way of language, the world's way of utilizing the words we use in the English language. And it's very divisive, as opposed to what and how much power I believe that the Lord was talking about within just the Lord's Prayer. So the obvious reasons they want to push it off as mental health and crises, and create crises over innocence, and you name it. They want to devastate you in any way possible, any way, shape, or form. But because you're moving in these ways against the walls of proxy war and against the ways of the demons at play, you're going to be able to start seeing clear through them, like looking through the glass. Maybe you want to get some window cleaner and spray it on the window and wipe it down. But either way, sometimes these things are going to be pressured into a place where you are so hard-pressed, confused, hurt, sad, scared, mad, all sorts of things, all sorts of energies coming up that you're not going to be able to understand why. See? And so if you're not going back to the pages to learn from who we are supposed to learn from, Jesus Christ, and see that your identity that is given to you by the Creator has been being stripped. You're not going to be able to see the energy or feel the energy or the frequency that we speak into, that the Lord created everything out here to have the Lord's DNA. So you share DNA with the Lord. And they're trying to utilize that as to be divisive and go against the Lord, which is against their own spirit. I've been feeling weird, friends, here and there. Good grief. Fuck. Certain people are gonna put things in your path, and it's not gonna help you. Okay, these are meaning to destroy you. You need to be able to see through these things before you're placed in such a way. So I need you to understand that, because the Spirit is trying to draw you up through their proxy wars, through their hacking, through their manipulating. They're devising you, dividing you from away from others, being able to advise them on where they need to go instead of seeking out their mental health help, because their mental health help is just to also take away your time, your energy, your resource, give it to them. Nothing is going to actually come of it. They're going to actually be stripping you from source. And by stripping you from source, you're not going to be able to feel normal here and there. Or you're not going to, you're going to be hard pressed in some fashion or another. The demons are out to kill you. The demons are out to hurt you. The demons are not out to help you. Good grief. So I have been having a lot go on in my body. Not just my mental health as they want to make it out to be. But I've been having a lot go on inside of me that is being new stuff, where I go in for help, for an example, and I have these situations, and I have to brace myself. So I have to know when I'm up against that matrix attack, that spiritual attack. And what I recommend doing is right away stopping what you're doing. And I just felt this way in the middle of the video, which is kind of why I'm doing these. But my recommendation is to go into prayer battle right away and say, Lord, I'm facing a spiritual battle again, and it's a matrix attack, or however you want to see it. But it's these spiritual battles that are happening now within my body, and it's causing me heightened anxiety, possibly unable to reason through things correctly. It's an energy that you can feel, and you know it's there, and you don't know exactly where it's coming from or why, but you go into spiritual battle and you tell the Lord what's happening. Okay. And so my recommendation is just to say, Lord, I'm in this spiritual battle, and I'm dealing with an attack, and it's an attack from the enemy. So I ask for your provision to go ahead of me with this and stop the enemy's attacks within my body, interior, exterior, all around me. Cover my house, cover my home, cover the whole area. Cover the lives around me. Don't allow the enemy's attacks to continue to prevail. in my life in this fashion. And then say what you have going on to the Lord and say amen. So we say amen. I might have to move differently now, again, but the fact of the matter is that where and what they can do and get away with is to terrorize its victims. It's not ever to help you. It's not ever to suggest for that help. It's not ever to actually replace their own evil deeds or ways. To suggest their help is going to help you. It's like the help that they can give and offer you is just to be divisive and push the victims even further, placing people within the care of other people, care of other doppelganger friends, family members of these occultists' design, meaning to strip you and tie off that noose, or throw you into the guillotine, so to speak. So you got to pray against these things. These enemies' attacks are doing this, that, whatever. Stop the actions that even ourselves might be taking to not allow us to see the poison, not allow us to see or reason with what's going on. But that's what they're doing. That's what they've been doing in my case anyway. They've been poisoning up my reality now that they don't have anyone in my reality in that fashion. They're trying to devise people's hearts from recognizing how huge the crime is, and it's monstrous. I believe it's one of the worst of its kind. It's just heinous. Then it's happening all over the world. It's happening to me. At least it feels that way for me. Literally, the demons are here on earth, and we're to rip them from end to end, in our spiritual battle, and pray in that way and say in Jesus Christ's name, amen. Everyone's hearts are surrounded by these events, by these things unfolding in the reality that we're faced up with. So you want to be able to go into spiritual battle as a winner, as somebody that's a mover, someone that's going to be able to oversee these things and change them. Because if you don't, and you don't go into spiritual battle, you're in big, big trouble. I might be in big, big trouble within my body because of what these people did to me covertly. They needed to win this last battle against me, and I knew that in my spirit, and I was basically feeling like I'm driving down the road, slipping out of my car, like on the road. So it's not been easy. But don't let them win, is all I'm suggesting. They thought they would have won. You're going up against this whole crew of people, and they thought it would just be easy because they saw you as an easy target. Someone that they had planned before, gotten away with many, 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 many things, mind you, to keep you lost off all out of state. And so you're not gonna allow it anymore. You go into battle in that spiritual warfare because someone to be easily bamboozled in that way is what they're after. They're looking at you as though you're just somebody to wreck up, and that because we were able to do it for this long, look how easy it was to snake out $4,000 from him. Look how easy it was to do this. Look how easy it was to push him here. Look how easy it was to push him there. So they're not going to be so kind with you moving in such a way that is going up against their spirit. So you know that the enemy attack is there. You know that the demonic attack is there. You say demonic attack to be gone at once. Protect these spirits. Protect the spirits of the good. Protect the spirits of the righteous, wherever they are, so that they can come together and work together to multiply, not divide, so that they can multiply. But these spirits are working against your spirit to be able to work in that way to multiply. They need you divided because of the crimes that they've been committing. They need to make their crimes your crimes. That's why there's blackmail. That's why they're blackballing you with all of these events in your life. And these spirits are as evil as the day is going into the dark night. The dark night of that soul is real. And then as you could craft up to create anything that you're trying to say out here, they don't want you to. So they're trying to stop you at all levels because, well, now, I'm sure like Mr. Jesse thinks, oh, great, now my mom thinks I'm a fucking piece of shit. Now, this is happening. No, you know what I mean? That's what they're thinking. And it's because you just decided to move for yourself differently. You see, you called your autonomy back. You called your energy back. In the spirit of our dear Lord and Savior. So they're not going to like that at all. So they think that their darkness is won simply by putting people under the dirt for their own gains. They didn't win. They can put you in that early grave, and that's where they want to put you and place you. Well, that's fine. I mean, if that's what happens, it's what happens. I'm at that point in my life. I can't do a freaking thing that I've wanted to do in my life. So I'm working myself to get back to that point, but it's simply been super duper 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 hard. I was pushed off into a homeless shelter. I'm calling everyone going, I don't know what this feeling is coming over me. I don't know what's happening here, but something's happening to me here. And you just don't know. You just don't know all the people involved, but you know something is happening to you. These things that are happening aren't just simple to do medical problem being, rather just pushed off, thrown away into this basket area. You feel the energy. If you feel the energy of just like, oh, you're sick, you have something going on there, sure, you're sick. You might need an antibiotic, or you might need something that's going to help you. Oftentimes I've been there and I go and search for that antibiotic, and it's not like the first time I go they give it to me. It's like the 5th or 6th or 7th time I finally like, oh great, so now you're finally giving me what I needed. But all of that time in between, you see, it's not health care, it's sick care. So they know the darkness that they work up, and especially in the Western world here where people are just getting things so awfully wrong. They were wrong to even think about coming up against one of God's chosen ones. And the fact of the matter is that everyone is called at some point to the Lord. So you're being called to the Lord through my messages. Go back throughout my history. You'll find them all over the place. But the fact of the matter is that your body was designed by an amazing God. So you seeking that original light in Christ is exactly where you want to go against the battles, against the evils, fighting on the good side of the exchange for that light. That's being stripped from you. That's being stolen from you. So their spirits are in big time trouble, no matter what trouble that I'm faced up with here. Like I literally just feel off right now. I might need to move differently here. But I'm gonna actually cut it, and I'm gonna come back. This is what they're ignoring, though. It's exactly what they're ignoring. I go into the hospital if something like this were to be happening. It's not as bad as it's been in the past, but it's been getting worse every single time. And I'm starting to feel that there's something more going on here than meets the eye. As far as just, my house, everything. So me personally, I'm trying to let the light shine where it needs to, and in that fashion, and I'm hoping and praying that I can move forward with the rest of my life. So oftentimes I have to place my hand on my heart or over my body. That's what I had to do in the car when I called 911 that day. They can't give me the conversation, or they can't give me the recording, which I think is just, why? Why can't you do that? You're police officers. You should be able to take my recording and give it to me so I can build around that, what happened there, and tell you exactly what happened there when I'm not poisoned or I'm not dealing with the chemical attack. That was a chemical attack. If you ask me, it was meant to take me out like that. 7 seconds flat or something like that. As soon as it breaks down the blood-brain barrier and it gets into your body and it goes to your heart, and then you're having consciousness problems. I was like debating on calling 911 there for a little bit, and it was like not in a debation about it, but if I'm like, do I deliver this Sprite or am I dying? That's basically, am I dying or am I delivering the Sprite? Can I think even about calling 911? Can I even reason with it to do that? So that's the chemical attack that I got assaulted with. These are the doppelganger people that are working in this way against my spirit from being able to move to ask for what I feel like I have every right to ask for the last many, many years, mind you. I need a blessing in my life. Coming from an influencer that can not only think that their influence is just nothing, that it can't come back to them. You see? Because I believe that giving is the gift I need that gives back to the giver. If you feel what I'm saying. And even if it doesn't come from me, it can come from other ways. That God is just brilliant, okay? He's helped me make it this far. He can help me go further. I just know I'm dealing with the Matrix attack right now. And it's troublesome. So anyway, if you're going to be here on my messages, I hope that you stay tuned for more. I have a lot to get through and a lot to cover. And it's not all bad. In all honesty, it's not like fear porn or anything like that. It's me showing people the light of Jesus Christ that is supposed to be working in and through us for the mission that we're on. And when we get ourselves on that mission with the Lord is going to be leveling off the playing field. Regardless what happens to your earthly body, you have a spirit. Your spirit is the most important. This life is, we have dreams. We have ways of our own means. Our thoughts are not God's thoughts. I just thought personally that God talented me to be a drummer because I was a great drummer, especially where I wasn't being hurt. But I had really evil, sick, twisted people following me in ways that they should have never been playing God in my life, you see. And so I didn't see them coming. I didn't see them as matrix attacks, even in the moments, especially younger, if it's a very controlled, contrived, always given to you version of that poison. It's going to affect you in a way that you're going to feel very ensnared with an energy that you don't understand or you don't know what to do with, and it's a survival mechanism that you're going to build up for yourself. You see, it's not selective memory as these people say. It's a survival memory tactic. I'm teaching you to utilize that skill if you're conflicted in that way, where You can go to the Lord and you can say, Lord, hold these memories. Lord, apply everything from the good book inside of me, inside my body, inside of my mind. How do I move about these things? I don't have the Bible sitting in front of me. I need to work. I need to do, you need to be able to maneuver differently. And so you're trying to give yourself that positive alignment with the Lord through the spiritual war that's been set in stage on your life. You see, so you want to pray against all forms of the attacks from the enemy, because these enemies are coming up all the time. Just like the other day on a live video, it's like you don't necessarily say these things when you're in the middle of speaking on your own topic, but there are certain attacks that happen. There are certain people around that can be those people that are paid to take you out. Sincerely yours, Papa Bullet. These are serious issues these days. So we are in grave danger in the world, and it's been a long time, just as John F. Kennedy was pointing out. We are in grave danger in this country if we can't move past these evils to move into our light, move in, and we're ready. We've been ready. We deserve to move in this way. But these people are wanting to completely rip us apart from being able to move in this way so that they can continue working the way that they're continuing and keep making money the way that they're continuing to make money, on the backs of the bruised, on the backs of the hurt that they create. And that's where these smear campaigns come in. That's where these enemy attacks come in. That's where the matrix attack lies. They can get you into something that's snaking your life. I have a problem with smoking cigarettes. I have a problem with smoking too many cigarettes. It's hurting my lungs. But I, for one, know that that's not the only... They're like, anything you do, anything that they can push you off into with the poisons is you. No, you see? And it is your life. This is my life. But then people aren't able to see me glow up, work in a different way. You see what I'm saying? Then they catch you. And then you're in a catch-22. And you know you're in a catch-22. Because if these things can overcome you, and you can allow these things to just take over your life, you're not going to have any availability of your mind. You're not going to have any availability of your spirit and soul to work in these kind of ways. And you're not going to be able to even know or reason to even go to the Lord. If they can take that away from you, they're playing with God on high levels of crime against you. This is why this is the most heinous crime of its kind happening to me. Then I feel that's what's happening to other people. You see? And other people can be super duper fucked up, hurt in the short. This has been my whole life of a spirit cooking that I'm talking about. My whole life of a spirit cooking, where you don't get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up until just a year ago, that train of thought or purpose to be able to be moved through discernment. God shocking you, hitting your belly with the truth. And sometimes it's going to be stuff you need, but it's not always going to be the stuff that you want. So when you are shocked with that truth, and I'm trying to take a little break here, but you are shocked at that truth, to get that alignment with the Lord. You have it with the Lord. It's not always going to be what you need it to be, but when these people are able to snake out your reality, move something in closer to affect you, you might even be choosing that effect. You see? You might even be paying for that effect, or you might even be going to work for that effect, or what have you. It's different areas of your life that they can go ahead and play up this game, and then all of a sudden you're going to be affected with a whole lot of damage that you have to deal with within your body, within your mind, within your life, within your energy, within your time, within your resources, within your bank account, within your car, within your house. They will stop at nothing. These are demonic attacks. So you have to go into battle. That's what I recommend doing. Go into battle, into spiritual battle with me. And if you have any support and aid to help me with in this situation, I encourage you to go on Cash App. Even if it's $5 or 20 bucks, it goes a long way in my life when I do get a little bit of help. But I'm looking for an investor. I'm looking for an investor to support me in what's happened with me. And I have a very important person in mind that I would like to get that investment in me with. But furthermore, I believe that these things can turn around my life little by little. And that by doing so, it adds value into my life, influence into my life that I would never have had before. And by never having that influence in my life before, I'm setting it in my belly. I'm setting it in that prayer value, you see. Because if you can have these things contradict the players that have been involved in moving this way, well, now you have gas. Now you have power, that might, that's in the Lord's Prayer, mind you. Now you have that back. Before you get that back, though, you might be as good as dead. If you don't see these things for what they are, you don't see the enemy's attacks as an attack. I mean, your soul might be okay. Your spirit might be okay, but your body, your temple, that thing might not be so okay. And that's all I'm trying to get at there. They can take away that much life from you, spirit cooking you, or soul cooking you throughout time in a way that's covert. You don't know what's going on. It's a slow drip process, meaning to complete your life so that they can move in this way to make money on how they're torturing you. So anyway, I'm going to take a break. If you do have anything to give, I'm on Cash App, like I've said. I'll leave the link in the description, as I try to here and there anyway. But yeah, it's the money sign. Chase your dreams today. Please, if you can, help me out in this. Please, I'm asking you. A-T-G. Be a top G, man. You know, someone once told me, if you, never mind. I had something good in my tip of my tongue there to end with. Oh, that's it. TT taught me. If you want to get her in bed, get a Llada with Llada that's red. Anyway, it's funny. Peace. I'll be back.